Demonized Kill here. So we're going to be here with starting episode 9 of the Bingo Book series. I know it's been a while since my last episode. Hoping now we'll be able to get back on kind of a semi-regular schedule since there's not as many updates going on. That being said, today's focus will be Renee's Sharingan Sasuke. So he's commonly also referred to as V5 Sasuke or RS Sasuke. That being said, let's take a look at his jutsus. If you're unfamiliar with this video, typically I'll go over his jutsus, their cooldowns, what they do, and then we'll get into some examples. So that being said, we'll start with his original ultimate. This is Planetary Devastation. At level 1, this has a 120-second cooldown. You can tell by the yellow icon here, this is an impact nature jutsu. So this is a multi-hit ultimate. It's going to drop a boulder on the character. It does a large amount of damage. It also has a pretty wide range. It's also going to inflict damage over time by a large effect, and it's also going to set up a damaging field, and that damaging field will also apply that same damage over time effect. So we'll look at the levels of this ultimate. As you can see here, at level 1, this has a 120-second cooldown and a 500 CP cost and 5,000 power. Once you level that up, that goes to an 85-second cooldown, a 430 CP cost, and we're now at almost 12,000 power. You can tell by the icons here, this is going to inflict damage over time by 5%. So it's going to take for 5% each time it's going to take 5% of your health each time. And then that's going to last for 41 seconds. So it's going to deal about 200% of your health. So, you know, even if you're healing, you heal to full health maybe twice, it's going to deal at least that much damage. That being said, we'll look at his next ultimate. So this is his SAM or Surprise Attack Mission Re-Kit ultimate, Gao Flame Burial. At level 1, this has a 60-second cooldown. You can tell by the brown icon here, this is a Manipulate Nature type jutsu. And so this is another multi-hit jutsu. It's going to create black flames the same way kind of Itachi's V3 Itachi's Summer Blaze does, or even V2's ultimate does. So that flame is going to last on the ground for a little bit. It is a multi-hit jutsu. It's also going to inflict a small or medium defense debuff, and it's also going to deal increased damage to enemies over time. So we're going to take a look at the levels. So you'll see at level 1, like I said, has a 60-second cooldown, a 250 CP cost, and it only has 3,000 POW. You can also tell here this defense debuff is going to last for 11 seconds. So going down, you can tell even at max level, it is still going to have a 60-second CD. It's still going to cost 250 CP. The POW does go up to about 5,000, and that's pretty much it. So the only reason why you would level this up is to increase its strength. You're not going to get any other benefits from it. But, you know, when we're talking about resistances and those kinds of builds, you know, it's probably not worth it to run level 1 ultimates anymore. That, in my opinion. That being said, we'll look at his next jutsu. So this is one of, again, a jutsu from one of his original kits. The Susanoo Chidori. At level 8, this has a 5-second cooldown. You can tell by the yellow icon here, this is an impact type nature jutsu. Again, he's just going to don Susanoo armor. He pretty much lunges forward at you. This is a multi-hit jutsu. It does inflict a small paralysis effect, and it's also going to increase the user's attack power by a medium margin. And it's also worth noting this is a true iframe, so that means it cannot be pierced by jutsus that would normally pierce iframes. We have a second jutsu from his original kit, Flash Flame Burial Flame Control. At level 6, this has a 4-second cooldown. You can tell by the purple or dark blue icon here. This is an annihilation type jutsu, so this is pretty much a teleport. He is going to set up some black flames from the spot he teleported from. This does have a defense debuff. Again, that effect is going to be small, and it also deals damage over time, and that effect is also going to be small. We can tell here, we'll check by level. Again, you see that defense debuff is going to last for 8 seconds, and we can see that damage over time effect is going to last for 15 seconds. On to the next jutsu, we have his Universal Pull Revolution. At level 6, it has a 4-second cooldown. You can tell by the gray icon here, this is a normal type jutsu. So this is pretty much going to pull enemies in, so it does have a pull effect. It does deal damage. It is also going to decrease attack, evasion, and critical hit rate by a small margin. And it's also going to inflict slow by a medium effect. So when you check it by level, you'll see here, we have that attack, crit, and evasion debuff. the attack and crit is going to last for 8 seconds. That attack, crit, and evasion is going to last for 8 seconds, and that slow debuff is going to last for 9 seconds. And then lastly, we have the surprise attack mission jutsu that came with his ultimate. Onyx Chidori at level 8, this has a 5-second cooldown. You can tell by the red icon here, this is a lunge type jutsu, and it's pretty much just a standard lunge dash type jutsu with Chidori. It is going to inflict a small paralysis effect. That paralysis effect doesn't seem to be guaranteed in my testing. It probably hits, it works about maybe 80 to 70% of the time. Can't quote me on that exactly, but it doesn't always seem to paralyze, even though I was using it with a character who has no paralysis resistances. So that's worth noting. So for the next part of the video, we're going to go over 2 long-range examples and 2 close-range examples, showcasing how his loadout order works and what jutsus he does. So you'll see here in our first slot, we have Susanoo Chidori, then we have Universal Pull, and then we have Flash Flame Burial. So that's typically going to be the order for his jutsus as far as long range is concerned. With long range, he'll start with the Susanoo, then he'll follow up with the Universal Pull, and then finally he'll do Flash Flame Burial. That pattern does change for his close range. That being said, let's get into the examples. As always, or as mostly of the time, I'll be using Neji to showcase this. We will start with the 2 long-range examples, and then we'll talk about evasion. We'll talk about the jutsus more in depth after we showcase the examples and loadouts. Oh, that got me. So that was example 1. We'll do another one. So as you see, he does the Chidori, he does the pull, then he does Flash Flame. And then we'll do the 2 close range. So those were the 2 long range. Now we'll do the 2 close range. This time for the close range examples, he will default to the Universal Pull first. So we're actually going to probably try to stuff that with the body blow, but we'll either try to seal him, and if we miss, then we'll try to avoid the follow-up by the Susanoo Chidori. So no stuff, but now we're going to avoid that. So that was example 1. Now we'll do example 2. I will move a little bit closer. I went to showcase the order, but now we'll actually stuff that that Universal Pulse, and I'll run into him, and I'll try to seal him. Alright, so those were our 2 close range examples for this loadout. So now we're going to do a loadout order switch. So for loadout order switch, we'll only be using 1 example. I've tested this extensively. This is just to kind of like showcase that the order does change. So we'll do Susanoo Chidori, we'll do Flash Flame Burial, and now we'll do Universal Pull Revolution. It's worth noting that he doesn't always use Susanoo first, even though this is set up for long range. Occasionally, if you are too close, he will attempt to pull you, but that doesn't happen too often. But it is worth noting that if you don't see that purple the armor come up, then he's trying to pull you. So the purple armor comes up, there it is. He's going to attempt to Flash Flame now, so there that is. Then he's going to attempt to pull, and I'll stuff. did get that seal, thankfully. And his normal attack is actually very, very annoying. Alright, so that was example 1 for the long range. Like I said, we'll only be doing one example for each of these. So now we'll do the close range. You'll notice now with the close range, he actually defaults to Flash Flame Burial first. There are quite a bit of shenanigans going on, so I do want to try to keep this a little shorter. So there's Flash Flame. We should get the Susanoo. There's that. And then we'll get the pull. Alright, so again, now we'll do one more load order switch. We will now do load out order number 2. Oh no, we'll do number 3. So this time we'll now use Universal Pull in the first slot, Flash Flame Barrel in the second slot, and Susanoo Chidori in the third slot. Hold on one second. Where's my... There it is. And so typically for the long range, this actually defaults to the same order as before. He is going to still try the Susanoo me first, but there is a chance for that Universal Pull to come in. Again, I'm going to keep my distance to try to prevent that from happening. Typically I want to bait the Susanoo because that's the easiest for me to dodge. So there's the purple armor. Here comes the pull. So you notice I'm not even giving him a chance to do Flash Flame Barrel anymore, because I already know it's coming, so I'm just going to stuff him. Okay, so now we'll do the close range example. For the close range example, he will still default to the pull. And then after this, we'll put our gate up, and then we'll talk about... Oh no, we'll actually switch, and then we'll talk switch Jutsus. Alright, so here comes the pull. Okay, there we go. And so now we will actually put his Rekit Jutsu on, and we'll talk about that. So it's worth noting, in my opinion, it's never worth taking off Flash Flame, his defense debuff, or his Susanoo Chidori. If you're going to use Onyx Chidori, the only one that you can actually take off for it, in my opinion, that's worth it, is his Universal Pull. That being said, I actually do like Universal Pull more than I like the Onyx Chidori. So now we're going to put that on. You'll see his power goes up quite a little bit. So now we will, again, we'll put Chidori first, the other Chidori, and then we'll put Flash Flame Burial. In this loadout order, again, we'll do 2 examples, and then we'll do a loadout switch. We'll do 2 close range, 2 long range, 2 close range, then we'll do a load order switch. Again, he's going to default to the Susanoo Chidori first. However, there is a small chance he will Onyx Chidori first. The idea being I'm creating enough space to bait the Susanoo. So there it is. So we won't get the pull, we'll get the Onyx Chidori, so I'm going to actually run in close. Again, now we'll get Flash Flame, so again, I'm running in close, and then I'm going to set him up like that. So that was long range example 1. We'll do just another one to showcase that this is the order, because we did change the Jutsu. Now this is why I kind of think this is the weakest kit. Essentially, like, you can kind of dash into him to avoid all of his Jutsus. You'll notice, like, literally all of his Jutsus I can run into him and I can avoid. So in that case, I do think the revolutionary pull is more ideal. Yeah, you'll see like for that one I pretty much took no damage. So this time I'm just actually going to make sure we do have the Chidori in the second slot. So for the up close, for the 2 close range examples, he will default to the Onyx Chidori first. Again, this is a very easy dodge, so I'm just going to run into him and off to the side. That's pretty much how you dodge all his lunge attacks. So we're gonna run in, off to the side. There it is. Susanoo Chidori. Oh no, Flash Flame. Now Susanoo Chidori. So you see, I'm just running into him, and he's kind of helpless there, because while the targeting does work very, very well from outside of his range or from mid range, it does not work as well from up close. If you're familiar with martial arts, that's pretty much is the weakness of lunge attacks. You try to get up close and divert their range before they build up momentum or reach the apex of their strike. So we'll do another close range example. Then we'll do a loadout order switch, and then we will get in talking about the jutsus in more in depth. Well, there's the dash. Here's Flash Flame. Here's Susanoo. And it's pretty much just that. Okay, so we'll do a low order switch, and then we'll just do one example of each again, and we'll talk more in depth about his jutsus. So for this time, we're actually going to now put Flash Flame Burial first. We're going to put Onyx Chidori, then we'll put Susanoo Chidori. Again, for the long range pattern, he is going to default to Susanoo Chidori, but again, there's a small chance he'll do the Onyx Chidori first. So you do want to wait until that purplish armor comes up, and then that's when you're going to run up towards him and off to the side, because you do want to get the evade. If you're too far away, it's going to track very well. So there it is. Then we get Flash Flame, and then we get, oh, I ran into it. So now we're going to seal. There goes Onyx. The thing about Onyx Chidori is it does deal a lot of damage. Essentially, you do not want to get hit by that Onyx Chidori at all. So there's our long range. Now we'll do a close range. Again, I think I put Flash Flame Burial first, so he'll start with that, and then he'll follow up with the Chidori if I'm too far. I mean, the Susanoo if I'm too far, and then Onyx Chidori. So there's the Flash Flame, there's the Onyx Chidori, there's Susanoo. You'll see like he actually got me with that because I did run a little. I started evading it too soon. Like I said, the tracking one, it does work very, very well. I missed my seal, I think. No, I got it. I'm getting pretty good at that timing. I'm still gonna die though, looks like. Yep. Okay. So those were our long range and close range examples. Now we'll start talking more about his jutsus in depth. So we will put up our fence. I think we're going to keep this loadout for now. But we might actually just change the order. So we're going to put Planetary State Devastation, Chidori, Onyx Chidori, Flash Flame, Burial Flame Control. Then we will put up our fence. This is my placeholder base. Put it right there. Okay. So for Sasuke's kit, for RS Sasuke's kit, it's worth noting that all of his jutsus are range 1 attacks. Essentially, he does have to be close to get hit with everything. Well, he'll only start them when he's close. That being said, all of his jutsus he will actually do through the wall, except Onyx Chidori. So he will do Susanoo Chidori through the wall, as you just saw, and it will hit you. As you also saw, it is a multi-hit. He will also attempt to Flash Flame Burial, but he will never ever be able to hit you with it because of the way the attack works itself. Essentially, he teleports and then the Flash Flame goes on the opposite side if he's facing you, so it just never hits. I'll see if I can showcase that. We might not be able to get that. Yeah, I don't think we're going to actually be able to get that. Yeah, he's just going to... So we'll go up here, we'll bring him towards the gate. He will use all of his jutsus through the gate, however. So you'll see we got the Onyx Chidori. I did get that medium, that small paralyze. He will then attempt a flash flame. Nope, Onyx Chidori again. We'll see if he... There goes flash flame, but you'll notice he can't actually hit you with it because his back is turned to you. And then we just saw the Susanoo Chidori again. So we're going to break this gate, and we're going to talk a little bit about evading. So Susanoo Chidori is a multi-hit jutsu. That being said, it's only multi-hit if it hits you head-on. If you attempt to run to the side, it does a glancing hit. It'll hit you once. That hit can paralyze. However, you will take a significantly less damage. I'll kind of showcase that. You see I'm running off to the side. Let's see. There it is. I body blow. There goes the one hit. You see it triggered, but I'm not actually paralyzed from it because that hit countered. Essentially, for the Susanoo Chidori, you want to run towards him and then off to the side slightly. That's kind of what you want to do with all of his attacks here. So you'll see the tracking works really well from far away, not so great from up close. If you just run towards him, you can pretty much dodge all of his attacks. So now we'll switch, because I do want to kind of, I know this video is going to be a little bit longer. So we're going to switch back to his other kit. We will take off the Onyx Chidori and we will put back on Universal Pull. Again, with this kit, he will pretty much do all of his jutsus through the wall. He can do Flash Flame Burial, he can do Universal Pull, and he can do Onyx, the Susanoo Chidori. So it's worth noting, if you do have Sasuke, there goes the pull, as you just saw. That debuff, all those debuffs. Essentially, if you do want to put RS Sasuke behind a wall or behind a barricade, this is the best kit to put him to equip him with to do that, as he will use all of his attacks through the wall. You'll see even then, if I'm too close to Flame Burial or Flash Flame Burial, it will still defense debuff you. Essentially, Sasuke is untouchable when he does Flash Flame Burial. You kind of have to wait till the effects go away. That flame does persist on the ground for a little bit, and if you've noticed when he does it, it actually surrounds him. So if you try to attack him while the flame is up, you will get knocked up, you will get that defense debuff. That being said, I actually think this kit is ideal because Revolutionary Pull or Universal Pull actually, well, I want to say covers for all of his other weaknesses. You've noticed with his re-kit, I'm able to simply just run towards him, but with Universal Pull, you actually can't run towards him because he pulls you in, and then you get hit with the slow, and you get hit with the defense debuff and all that other stuff. So for me, like, this is actually his ideal kit. I know a lot of people don't like Universal Pull for some reason, but to be honest, like, it covers his glaring weakness in that respect. That being said, we're going to talk about his ultimate. So we have him with Planetary Devastation. So for that, we're actually going to put on EMS because we need some DOT. We want to make this fairly quickly. I think we're already at 23 minutes, so this is going to drag. This is probably going to be a longer video. I apologize. So again, you'll see that multi-hit aspect, even through the wall. So we have him on low health. You'll notice he does not attempt to use Planetary Devastation, no matter how close I am to the wall. Planetary Devastation he will never cast through a wall. However, if we go up towards the gate, he actually will cast it. We'll showcase that. And the range is quite large, as you can see from there. And it's where the cracks extend. That's where the damage field starts. As you see, I'm now taking 5%. I'll do that for 40 seconds. Essentially, even if you dodge this attack, you do not want to touch that damaging field, because that damaging field will take you to 1 health, especially if you don't have a healer or some type of cleanse. In that respect, I actually think this ultimate is better. So now we'll do that again, but I will attempt to iframe it. Again, the same story. It's safe. You can iframe it. However, the damaging field will ensure that even if you iframe it, you will be taken down to 1 HP unless you have a healer or you have some type of cleanse support. So in that respect, it's not even worth it to iframe. It's better to actually just flat out try to evade it. And we'll try to do that without the gate, but again, he actually has a really, really good range with it. It's very hard to evade unless you're just like he's entering his field of range. So you'll see, like, if we're right here, even if I start running, I can't evade it. Essentially, like, you have to be outside of his range. As soon as he gets to low health, you want to run away from him, and then he'll cast it when he enters your range, and then you keep running away from him. That's pretty much the only way you can actually safely get away from that attack without taking any damage whatsoever. So I actually like that attack a lot better than his other ultimate. But right, we'll show the case the iframe. The range on that is kind of ridiculous. It extends quite a bit beyond the wall. So we do have him on low health now, so we'll bring him up here. Let me make sure my iframe is actually up. So we'll bring him up here. Once the meteor starts to fall, that's when you want to iframe. So you see I iframed it, but even still, the iframe does not protect you from the damaging field. If you get hit with the damaging field, you're pretty much done, unless you have healer or support. Don't want to drag this out, so we're going to move on to his next ultimate. Gal Flame Burial. So unlike the other one, this is actually my ideal setup. This is the setup I like for him. Unlike Planetary Devastation, Flame Burial will go through walls. He will cast this through walls. It is a lot safer to iframe and a lot easier to iframe in my opinion, but the range on it is kind of deceptive. He gets started out from, I think, pretty far out, to be honest. Let's see if he stops paralyzing me. So yeah, he's at low health now. So we'll start from here and we'll kind of just inch our way in. So you'll see from there, that's when he casts it. As you can see, at level 1, I have no manipulation resistances, and it didn't kill me. And that's why I'd say, like, for this ultimate, if this is an ultimate you're depending on, you should level it up. You know, like I said, I have 0 manipulate resistances on my RS Sasuke. I mean, on my EMS Sasuke, and he was able to survive 1 hit. So we'll actually go in a little bit closer, kind of showcase the full effect of that ultimate. So you'll see at up close range, when he can get you with the full effect of the flames, it is a 2-hit jutsu or multi-hit jutsu. That second hit will kill you. The first hit hits for a little bit less damage than the second hit does. Now we'll talk about the iframe. Iframing it is very, very simple. Simply, you want to start your iframe when the black flames start up. For this, we'll actually bring him up here. I don't know why I broke the gate. I used my my iframe too soon, so here it comes, and I did it too soon. So we'll try that one more time. After that, we'll get into the multi-character showcase, and then actually I'll do one more example with Neji to showcase body blow to show everyone that the second hit deals significantly more damage than the first hit. So if you do want to use that ultimate, try to make sure the second hit hits. The first hit is not as important as the second hit is. Come on, Sasuke, come here. You know, I guess it's not a bingo book without the AI acting not very smart. So I feel that slow. I'm still missing it. It is possible iframe. We're gonna try it one more time. If that doesn't work, then we'll go on to the next. Because I don't want this video. We're already at 30 minutes, so this is probably gonna be about a 35-minute video, unfortunately. Okay, there it is. See, so there it is. That's the iframe. As soon as the flames come up, when you see the flames on the ground, that's when you want to start your iframe. We already showcased the multi-hit aspect, so I don't think there's worth it to do it again. We will get into the multi-character showcase now. I'll be doing, I think we'll do four or five characters. However, we will be switching up. I won't be using any of my A ranks. We'll start with Darui, and then we'll go probably Darui, Tsunade, Madara, and maybe Orochimaru. That'll be our showcase for today. So easy peasy with Darui. So Tsunade. I'm not going to use V2 Gaara because V2 Gaara is just way too easy. And now people are like, is he really going to use Tsunade? We're going to try. Oh, so I got pulled, so that's bad. Yep, so it didn't work out too well with Tsunade. That's unfortunate. I would like to do a do-over, but we're not gonna do that. So now we'll use Madara, and then I think we'll use either Orochimaru. We might actually just use Itachi. Oh, actually, everyone saw the pull that first time, so like, you know, he doesn't always do the Chidori. Sometimes he does do the pull. Oh, wow! So Madara died too. Like I said, I'm trying to make it a little bit more interesting. So now we will try Itachi. And I think we're at about 33 minutes. So we'll do. Oh, we might do two more. I don't know why I have Tsukiyomi on. Ugh, Tachi died too. It's only went well with Darui. Alright, who else? We will try. Yeah, we won't do any redos. That's probably not fair. We'll do Mitsuki. Oh, and Mitsuki's dead too. Alright, so this is not working as well as I thought. We will do. I think we'll just do. Last character. We'll do Orochi. We'll try Orochimaru. That'll be the end of that. These are kind of characters I'm kind of like a little interested in, so that's partly why I'm trying to test them with this. But sometimes things don't work as well on video. Alright, so we should get Universal Pull. There's Universal Pull. Should get Flash Flame. There's Flash Flame. I don't know why I didn't do this with everyone else instead of... Where is he? There's Flash Flame. I ran right into that. I guess he really was confused, because that was terrible aim, Sasuke. And Orochimaru wins. Okay, so that will be the end of Bingo Book episode 9. So for episode 10, we will be showcasing Ten Tails Jinchuriki Obito. I did pull for his full kit. We do have a full kit for both his re-kit and his regular Jutsu, so that's what we'll be doing. Now I actually hope to upload that this week. I won't even waste time setting up a normal base. We are just going to switch spots with him. I'll actually do that right now, because I'll probably start my preliminary testing actually right now. But yeah, I guess I don't need to be on video to do that. So I do have a couple more videos planned. I will upload that's my speed run for the yellow flash roll that I got on the NxB Discord. I will also be uploading another guild attack mission video and another series I'm kind of interested in working on. I haven't figured out how I'm going to format that yet, but I'll do that. I don't know when I'll be doing another base replay, because when I do Bingo Book videos, I do have to kind of like shuffle my base around, and it does make it easier for people to attack me. But hopefully sometime after I finish Jobito and I get my base set up for a week, I'll share a defense replay, because I have a serious base up. So that's it for today. I hope everyone's staying safe. Demonize Kyo out.